Can you take me through one of your sessions? Like, how do you work with people who are struggling? And like you said, shadow work, you're doing shadow work. How does the session go? So you also talk about cleansing black magic or getting rid of entities. Does that even exist, first of all? So this entity that you're talking about actually does communicate with you? So
They give you a
what do you
bite.
mean by serving the...
Serving the
Community.
community, it could be that you serve them.
What is a womb healer? So, in these episodes, did your father ever come to you? Is this, do you feel pressure doing this work? How do you deal with your sanity? I wanted to ask you about Auroville also. How did you decide to move there? And what do you define a Pitra Dosh? Hi everyone and welcome to the podcast. Today's conversation is something that won't sit comfortably with everyone. And I think that's the whole point. I'm joined by Havi Segal, a medium and a healer who often works with emotions, energies, and the deeper, almost unseen parts of ourselves. Her journey into this work didn't come out of curiosity. In fact, it came from a very deep and dark place. She experienced something so tragic in her life that it changed the way she sees life, pain, and healing. So, today we're talking about pain, healing, and shadow work, and the things that a lot of people are maybe not comfortable even to consider. So, let's get into it. Hi, Havi.
Hi.
Welcome to For What It's Worth. I'm so glad to have you here. So, when we were discussing earlier, you told me that you had a lot of credentials under your belt, and I just want to mention those once because I might be missing a few. So, you're a pranic healer, a clairvoyant, Kali Sadak, medium, a shamanic healer, womb healer, shadow worker, and a relationship coach. And I know you were a makeup artist earlier as well. So, is there something I'm missing first of all?
I am a born psychic, but
Okay.
I do not fully use that yet till my body is ready for those energies because my body kind of collapses when I open those channels for me. But I do open them when absolutely necessary. Sometimes it's not in my control also. Like if I'm in a session with a client that really needs that, I will not be able to stop that channeling in any way. I don't have that power to start and stop it yet. It happens on its own.
Okay, and did all this come to you because you were curious about it, or was it something that happened in your life that made you feel like I want to change my path and I want to probably get into spirituality?
I was born with it. Like my father realized when I was 4 years old that I could see things and talk to things uh, and see the future before it happened. He chose to tie them so that I can lead a normal life. The
And that is
biggest.
something that he had the power to do.
He
the
was
time.
also a sadhak, a psychic, but his main job was a jeweler. But he was full on into spirituality. Um, he realized that he needs to tie those things because when my grandfather was about to pass away, I started saying to everybody that he's going to pass away. Nobody believed me. Then the day he passed away, I was in school and I was sitting and talking to somebody. My mom had come to pick me up and she saw me speaking to somebody and she said, "Who were you speaking to?" And I told her, "Are you blind?" I was speaking to my grandfather. He was sitting.
Like it's just an obvious thing.
She said that what was he saying? I said he was saying that he's going to go away for a little while and that to be okay because I was really attached to him. And then I said, when are you going to come back? And he said that when you grow up, you will meet me, you will know. So that's when my mom told my father. My mom was not really into spirituality, and so my father tied those things for me so that I can grow up without all of that burden on me. He said that he would untie it when I'm an adult, but he passed away before I could make that choice. I had also forgotten
That you had these.
that this happens. I had some sense that I was always different. I would never fit in, no matter how much I tried to fit in. Like I could always see that I was a little bit different. So when he passed away, all of that just came to me because the untying went, and it was like the noises came back, and that's how I went into drug addiction to make those noises stop. I was constantly like, I went to psychiatrists and I went to all of that, and nothing was helping. They told me all sorts of things that I have and put me on all those meds.
Yeah.
But because they were not mental health issues, nothing was
was
truly
working.
helping me. Then everything started collapsing, and that's when Kalima entered my life. I was I was at a retreat and I was having a breakdown. For me, God was always a man.
Yeah.
Like, till that time, I was like, God is a man, God is Krishna, God is Sai Baba.
Yeah.
I never thought about that God could be a woman. So when she entered, I was like, who is that? And then she collapsed my life even more till I sat down on my mat as a sadhak. And I was really scared because I know people say you can't do sadhana without a guru. But that's when my father and my astral guru entered my life, and I was gifted all these mantras that I have to do everything. And that's when my life started changing, and all these other powers started coming to me that I never learned. But it's like I always knew them. There was a remembrance of something. And
So you say Kali, you're a Kali sadhak. For somebody who has a very superficial knowledge about who Kali Ma is, what do you mean by being a sadhak, and what does it entail in like your daily life? Is there anything different that you do?
okay, I think people first of all have a misconception about Kali in general. She is fierce, she is dark, but she's also very, very loving. Like in the beginning, when I was trying to resist the path that I was taking, I was hit left, right, and center. As soon as I surrendered, and I think I used the word surrendered, not surrendered, I softened. I softened into the path that was meant for me. She became very loving towards me. Like I constantly know that I'm protected. Like even when the worst thing is happening, I would just be like, oh, I'm gonna be fine. And it's very weird. Like even if I would get into an accident, and it has happened a couple of times, I would just be unhurt. It would just be like I would be the person that is calling the
The lucky one,
ambulance or
yeah.
taking care of another person, which was really shocking to me. That one time I flew from a bike to like the road,
Yeah.
and the person who was riding the bike, he was fully in blood, and I was like, I was wearing this beautiful white dress, and I just got up and I was like,
Wow, you
oh,
walked away with it.
I was like, oh, I need to help this person. And what's different about it is that integrity. There's sometimes in life that you want to manipulate something to get what you want. I cannot do that any longer. That is not something I can do. In my work, I have to be very, very careful, because when you can do these things, you can also manipulate or influence things. As a true Kali sadhak,
Can you give me an example of what you mean?
I mean that when you can manipulate energy, you can manipulate it into doing things that you want, how you
really?
want life to be, how you
Okay.
want people to behave. If somebody is, say, leaving you, say if I date somebody and they leave you, I have the power to influence that. But as a
Wow.
sadhak, you have to be very, you have to have so much integrity and be like, I have this power, but I can't use those, because that is not right. That's karma. Third is that I sit in sadhana every single night.
Okay.
Every single night I will sit in sadhana. Sometimes it will be 30 minutes. Like right now, Navratri is going on,
Yeah.
so I sit in sadhana for 6 hours.
Oh wow.
That is one thing. I do not eat anything that would harm somebody else. I'm not a vegan, but I will not eat any animals whatsoever. I do not take alcohol anymore. And yeah, it's just about being. I think people think that there are all these rules. There are no rules. Like I can go out and have a drink. It's not a problem.
It's your personal choice.
Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna punish me. It just affects my sadhana.
Okay.
It's not like if tomorrow I have a
So
friend.
6 hours you sit for sadhana. Like, how easy is it?
It was very difficult in the beginning, not in the way that I couldn't sit. It was that when I was gifted these mantras were very potent. I have not found them in any books or any public library.
Oh really?
So these mantras, when they're so powerful, my body could not hold it. So I would faint all the time. Uh, I started losing a lot of weight because my body was not ready. Then I got a strict instruction. That is why I quit all of the things that were not, my body was not holding, to get my body ready to do the work I'm about to do. And then I started seeing all my past lives. I saw 24 of my past lives in
I've seen my past life as well. I've seen two or
Yeah.
three of my past lives. But then again, like I don't know how true it is. I don't know if this is just your mind making up things or is it genuinely true? Because the purpose for me to see my past life was to see if my brother was there in any of them. And when I saw him in those past lives, it kind of gave me a sense of a calmness that I would see him again in my next life since he's already there in my past lives. But then again, I don't know if that's just your mind trying to convince you of something or if it's just if this is actually real. Like, and why is it that only some people can see it and some people just can't? Because I remember another person who was very close to me also did the same session with me and they were not able to see anything.
So our subconscious holds all the memories we've ever had. We have a subconscious mind and a conscious mind. Why some people can't see it, I will answer that first. As a human, we have a lot of control. Okay, we are controlled beings. Some people can let go of that control to see things. Some people can't let go of control, so it will take a few tries to see those things. Is it real? Is it not real? If your subconscious is showing you something when you go with an intent,
Yeah.
when you're going with an intent, your subconscious will not play games because your subconscious wants you to remember all these things. It wants you to remember all your past mistakes, all the past lives, so that you don't repeat it in this because the subconscious wants to go back home. And you, as conscious, is stopping him or her to go back home. So it will try to show you everything that you allow to make sure that it can go back to its house. If you're out in foreign for too long, eventually you
Yeah,
want
you
to
won't
go
come
back
home.
home. And that's exactly the feeling the subconscious has all the time. That once this human is finally done from the human life, we can go back home.
Interesting.
And that's what it's just trying to do.
Yeah.
I do not agree that going into past lives is for everybody. I do caution people of that because a lot of people get stuck in the story.
Yeah.
It's a story. By
Yeah.
the end of the day, what we've done, it's for people who cannot find, like for some people, no matter what happens, they stay stuck in same patterns. It's like they've tried
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
they've tried all the healing, it's not working. Then it means that there's something from your past life that you need to decode that you're carrying. That's when I tell somebody, okay, why don't you go into a past life? When some people just say, oh, I just want to know, I'll be like, no, first focus on this life. See what you're doing. Don't go with the popcorn and be like, because
Let's
they,
watch a movie. Yeah, it was actually like a movie.
Yeah.
It was like creating a movie and seeing
and
how
sometimes
you
you
were.
don't
and-
need to live those past traumas. You have
Yeah.
enough traumas in
Of
this
course.
life.
Yeah.
Why to go?
So talking about trauma, I know you had your own share of trauma in your personal life, and I think that was one of the major reasons why you shifted the gear and
Yeah.
you are doing what you're doing now. So what happened?
Growing up, my life was anyways very, very difficult. Like, I remember I was 11 years old when people started calling me names I didn't understand. Like, I was always tabooed as this sexual being. Even as a little girl who had no idea,
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like, I remember coming back home to my father and being like, what are they saying? Like, I'm not understanding. I would read it on walls of my school.
Oh wow.
And then things just started shifting to me, from me. Eventually, when I grew up and I moved to Bombay, things were already difficult for me. Like, that was the time my father had went bankrupt, and we came from a really rich background. Suddenly, everything was collapsing for us, and I had decided. I was 16 when I moved to Bombay. Like, I had no idea of the world. I was this
Yeah.
protected girl in her little
Yeah.
palace, and suddenly I was told to
And
take.
you were alone?
And I was alone, and I made that choice. It was all because actually I got into a huge accident where I was in a coma for 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
And that's when things shifted for me. That this life is not for me. So I was like, if I don't break out of this house, I'm never going to become anything. Because I was the youngest daughter of my family. Then when my father passed away, right before that, I had gotten out of a really, really violent relationship, which was not easy for me. I was very young. I was 21, 22 years old, and the man was way older than me. And for me to understand that I can't be with the person I love because he's not okay. I understand now that this was not love.
Yeah.
But as a 21-year-old, I want to go back to the person I love. Can somebody fix him? When I look back now, I think I didn't have self love.
Yeah.
I was always looking for somebody to validate and somebody to make me feel like what love feels like. Like, even before my father passed away, I think I was looking for him in every man because I was
Yeah.
given too much love. And by the end of the day, he belonged to my mother.
So how was your family support during this time?
My family always supported me. My family has supported me. I think that is why I'm able to be who I am. If somebody had, at that point also when I came back home, I had not told anyone that I was getting beaten up for 1.5 years. But that night I had no option. Like, I had ran and come back. My teeth were broken. My hands were fully gone. My nose, everything was broken. They were really kind to me. They never asked me, why did you take it? Because as a victim, you don't have that answer. You don't need people to ask you. They just catered to me when I told them that I really want to go back. They made an effort to call him, speak to him to see, and not in the way that they didn't care about me. They were just like, okay, let's just see why this girl is saying this. Maybe there is a reason that we are not able to see. But they were also really strict when they spoke to him and when they could see who he clearly was in that time. It was a clear line that you cannot go. It's not going to happen. We cannot send you to die. This man is going to kill you. And when I started drinking heavily after that, nobody ever demeaned me. They held my pain, they saw my pain, they witnessed it. And when someone witnesses your pain, you eventually soften. They wanted me to file cases, but when I didn't want to, they also respected. They respected that right now I'm too much in pain to file that against somebody that I love. Like, I was not able to get over that. So the support system at my house was always solid. Even when my father passed and I started telling my family that I can see things, initially they did question me. They thought it was my drug addiction speaking. But when they saw it for themselves, like when I would randomly say stuff which would come true, they were like, oh.
So in these episodes, did your father ever come to you?
He started coming to me. He once told me, that is how I also left addiction. He once told me that if you start going down this path, you're going to miss out on your path, and I wouldn't want that for you. Like, it's hurting me. As soon as he said that it's hurting him, I locked myself in a room for 20 days and I could not afford rehab. It was not possible at that point that I could afford rehab. Rehab is really expensive. I locked myself in a room for 21 days and I said, this needs to end. Like, this ends here. There is no way I'm going to touch that again. And no, it was very difficult. I screamed. I was shouting. I was saying anything for anyone to let me out. But my family, I had given them clear instructions. I will say crazy things. You do not let me out. And
how many years has it been that you?
it's been 4 years now.
Wow.
And I've never gone back to it. It's not like it's not available in the world, or I don't go attend a party. I'm still 29. I like a good party. I'm gonna go. It's just not something that that void does not exist anymore. Like, I filled it up with so many.
You feel fulfilled.
I feel so fulfilled that I don't need that to get me high.
Yeah.
It does not make sense anymore. Why?
So you talk about shadow work. What exactly is that?
So we all have lightness and shadows in us. Like, I'll give you an example. I move through the world with a little bit of manipulation with the way I look to get what I wanted. Okay? And I'm not going to deny I did that. It made my life really easy. It would be small things. Like, I would talk nicely to the person who's supposed to get my coffee so that I get my coffee first, then everybody else. Or I would use it at the bank. It would be really small things and really big things as well. Now, I would shame those parts. Like, I would never accept it. So I had a manipulation shadow. I probably had a sexual shadow and all of that. So we all have different kinds of shadows. Like, people say who are highly sexual addicts who have sex addiction, they will have a lot of shame shadows, a lot of wounds that made them that way. We shame those parts. Shadow work is we start seeing what those parts are and we start accepting them instead of calling them bad. सब में अच्छाई और सब में बुराई होगी. The point is that we call it burai, but they are parts of us only. We probably build them to survive.
Yeah.
You know, like say if I was in a violent relationship, I started asking myself 2 years back that am I narcissistic? And I realized those are my shadows that had to survive with the narcissist. So when I started working with those parts changed automatically. When we start accepting, like if we have a child, right? You have a child. If a child is doing something that is not making sense to you or wants to say something, you're not going to shut its mouth. You're not going to shut a child's mouth. We are constantly shutting parts of ourselves. We shut
That
our
are
mouths
hidden, yeah.
to fit in, to seem good, to seem acceptable in this society. But we all have those parts, and we need to work with them because without those shadows, there's no lightness. Like we are not love and light. No matter what anyone says, we need those shadows to survive. Say for a victim, if it didn't have those shadows, that victim would
Wouldn't
probably
be a victim.
yeah,
If you think about it.
the victim would not even
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah.
Survival will not come without shadows.
Yeah.
So that is what shadow work is, and I think it is my favorite part of my
So
work.
can you take me through one of your sessions? Like, how do you work with people who are struggling? And like you said, shadow work, you're doing shadow work. How
So-
does the session go like?
So I have a client who likes being dominated, but in his life, in his daily life, he's a full masculine. So when we started working with that, eventually, like through somatic work means working with the nervous system, going into a few
Yeah.
regressions as well, we realized that as a child he was bullied a lot. When he was bullied, he felt like he did not have control of how people look at him or how people put him down. There was no control. So eventually, when that started happening, he only started attracting women who would dominate him, but in an emotional sense, which would make him feel small again. So then he started having these kinks because now it's controlled domination. It's controlled how somebody will insult you. And that's where it was coming from. When we started seeing those parts, that part of his sexuality changed because he wanted to change it. It was not serving his marriage anymore. So things like that always come up. And I've had many people with the same story. This is one instance where something happened in their childhood. It all
That's
comes from
still triggering. Yeah.
it's still triggering, and a lot of shadows get created like that.
Yeah.
Like one of the women that I work with, she has so much trauma that she cannot cross like a line. She has OCD.
Ah, okay.
And that OCD is also coming from that she had no control in her childhood of what she wears, what she eats, how people perceive her. She was from a very controlled household. So now she needs to control every single thing
In her
in her
life,
life
yeah.
to seem like she is in control. That is her shadow, basically. That is her fear. It's actually fear that somebody else will take control of my life.
Yeah.
So let me control everything.
So you also talk about cleansing black magic or getting rid of entities.
Yeah.
How does that go? And first of all, I want to know, is that really like, does that even exist, first of all? Just being like coming from the other
understand.
side.
Yeah.
And also, like, how do you recognize that something's wrong?
Okay. There are a few ways. First, I'll tell you how this started happening to me. So, when my psychic powers increased and I started doing clients, it was like I could just see it. Like, but I couldn't explain to somebody. I can't explain to a client, oh, you have an entity because I can see it. So, I had to find a way to.
Was that scary for you? Like, or
I don't know why it was never scary for me because I was already working with
Yeah.
things and energies people could not see. So this has always been my life. So it wasn't scary to me. I was scared for the person sometimes that was going through it because they were not realizing that that is happening. Then I said, I need a way to verify this for a person. I can't just go on my instinct. And that's when I learned pranic healing. And so basically, we have energy centers, chakras in our body. When we have chakras in our body, when we scan them as a pranic healer, we will instantly be able to feel something in the chakra. It's either something biting us, something poking us in our hand, and that's when we'll get a sense that either it's black magic or it's a wandering soul. Me as a psychic, I will start hearing them talking to me. Like client will be talking to me, but somebody else is also talking to me, or somebody is laughing sometimes, and it's not a good laugh. So then I find out, then I start asking them questions.
But how does this entity affect their life since they are living a normal life and they don't really know that there's anything,
It's creating, first of all, blockage. These people will always say कि मेरा काम बनते बनते रह जाता है.
Acha, like that.
कि लास्ट में मेरा काम बन रहा होता है, रह जाता है. मेरे रिलेशनशिप्स आइदर बहुत ट्रॉमेटिक होते हैं या ब्रेक होते रहते हैं. You know, sometimes people will say that. They will also say that I feel like somebody is watching me, but I don't know who it is. Those are also the signs. Health issues come that doctors don't have answers to. You will start going to doctors, your blood test will be completely normal, but there's something or the other always going on with you. Your hair are always falling. That's one of the biggest signs. Your hair start falling. You'll always be like, I go to every place, my hair are not getting better. I'm getting every GFC injection out there. It will also start showing up when they drink. They'll want to drink more than usual. They might have craving of eating some sort of meat.
Okay.
That is also a sign with some people. Another sign is that you'll see that when they drink, people will call them violent, or people will call them कि ये अजीब हो जाता है. I don't want to be around this person. He causes or she causes too much chaos. Because when we drink, our consciousness goes down and the entity can take over. When it's black magic, the signs are similar. But the person, I feel like most of the times these days people have an awareness कि कुछ गलत है.
Oh, really?
A lot of clients say कि आप check कर दो कुछ गलत है, because also because of
But what are
social
the
media.
what are the ways in which somebody can do black magic? Because I'll tell you a small instance. When my brother got sick, we had like you say, we had the perfect life.
Yeah.
Where my dad was doing very well in his work. My brother was going to one of the best colleges. I was doing great in my life. We had a decent house. So there was nothing going wrong. And so there was a lady who used to live below us in the ground floor, and she really didn't get along with my father because my father was trying to acquire her property. And eventually she moved out. But right after that, within a year or 2 years, my brother got diagnosed and he had leukemia.
I'm so sorry for that. It's very tough.
Thank you. So, and my dad started noticing that we had a garden and we had a lemon tree in our garden, and there was always this yellow weed growing on top of it. Like
That is one of the signs.
no
Your
matter
plants will
how
always
much-
tell you.
how much he tried to get rid of it, it would just reappear. And at some point, we used to have like so many lemons in our house because the tree would just keep giving, and eventually it just died because it couldn't take the weight of that weed. So he kind of felt like, but we always made fun of him, and we were just like,
black magic exists, and the problem is it's very easy to do. Most people know how to do it. Nobody knows how to remove it. Very few people.
I believe in Nazar a lot.
Nazar to definitely 100%
So I mean,
exists.
I keep like taking out Nazar of my kids also.
Yeah,
and
Nazar is very, very real.
Yeah.
There is nothing more real than Nazar.
Yeah.
And social media is making that very, very difficult. You actually need to protect social media also. I still can't go in a metro. Like, I can't take a metro because I fall sick Nazar ki wajah
Why
se.
is that?
There's so much Nazar. I can't
Oh,
go.
is it?
I don't go into a place which is too crowded. I live. That's why I live really far away. But with black magic, your plants will always tell you. In shamanism that I do, we talk to our plants. Our plants talk to us. When I am doing entity removal work in my house, I always tell the plants around my house that today I'm about to do this. Please don't die on me, and please make sure I'm protected. We all know that they're living beings. They have souls. Your plants will always tell you when somebody is doing something wrong. And if anyone is feeling in the house that something like this is happening, the chances are 98% is happening. 2% is that एक उन्होंने वो दिमाग में
But
ही
what I
बना
don't
लिया है.
understand is why would somebody intentionally try to harm you or hurt you, and what is it that they get out of it? Like in Nazar, I understand people do it, unwillingly, and it's not on purpose, because when I'm walking somewhere, somebody might just say, "Oh, your daughter is so cute," and I feel like, and it always happens the next day she gets sick. It always used to happen with my son. That-
Because some people's aura is more sensitive. My aura is very sensitive. Why somebody would try to harm us? Well, humans are very insecure. They're very jealous. We always want to have things our way. We're a very entitled race. So when somebody does not do or give us what we want, or even you'll see in families that even when someone is doing better, they want to hold them back. There's a sort of insecurity in human beings, and that's why I say everyone needs inner work to accept that we all have this. If
Right.
we say that we are not insecure of anybody, we don't have jealousy, we are lying to ourselves. Some people have it more. They have lived probably a life where they feel like somebody will take something from me, or they are doing better than me, I will get left behind. So they do something. They don't think about it so much. They don't think of, most of the times, they don't think how much it can harm a person. Also, because it is so easy to do, हर कोई कहीं पे बाबा बैठा हुआ है जो कुछ भी कर सकता है. Now you look at social media, everyone is teaching you how to do Vashikaran. For some people whose intent and aura is really strong, if they read something on social media and do the Vashikaran, the chances are that it might actually work.
Oh wow.
Which is so scary.
Scary, yeah.
I get so many Vashikaran cases. I get so many DMs to do Vashikaran. Ki please bring my ex back. And I always say, that's not going to happen. But when I
Morally
see
not
a
right.
Vashikaran removal case, I always take
So
it.
take me through the removal process of either like a black magic entity or a
There are a
Vashikaran
few
entity.
ways. Sometimes when I'm sitting, I get channeled. When I get channeled, I'm told exactly what to do. If it's a small black magic, कि आराम से हट जाएगा, then I remove it through pranic healing. But I always scan it through pranic healing to verify that what I'm seeing, what I'm being told, is it right? Because energy will never lie to me. There could be that my psychic abilities are trembling or something like that. If it's a small black magic or maybe an entity who just got attached to you while you were walking somewhere, sometimes that happens, then I will remove it through pranic healing. When it's something, say an army of people are sitting, say in court cases a lot of black magic happens, okay? So that means somebody has paid an army of people to influence this person's outcome right now. Then I will sit at my mat as a sadhak and I will ask for guidance, and most of the times I will be given a ritual and a mantra that will be gifted to me for exactly this person, or I will be told that you've already been given this mantra, use this. And I will start sitting in sadhana for this person to remove that black magic. Now with entity removal, it's a whole different ball game. Entity removal is not something
It's
you
more
do.
complicated.
Of course, because you're at risk. You're 100%. Recently I did this entity removal from this girl in Germany, and she flew down and stuff like that. Before she was flying down, I was already prepping her since 12 days. I have to prep her body, I have to prep my body. Things can go bad. You can get lawfully liable if something happens.
something
It's
happens.
not, you
Right.
can't tell the person, oh, it had an entity.
Yeah.
The law is not
Yeah.
going to believe me.
Yeah.
So you have to prep. Every day she was crying on the phone that something inside me is scared to come to you because I want to kill you. All night I dream about putting a knife in you, and it's not me.
So she used to dream that she wanted to kill you.
Yes, because I was the one who told her I'm going to remove your entities. So that entity was just like, I'm not going to let you go to this person, because for them, me as a person, and it sounds really weird, I have a lot of empathy for entities. Us as humans, we have bodies, we can talk. They don't have anywhere to go because they're basically stuck souls. Okay? In my entity work, what is different than others is what I've noticed, that people इसमें क्या करते हैं, वो किसी चीज़ से बांध देते हैं. Either they'll put an animal or a tree and then the soul is stuck again. In my entity work, I make sure that the entity leaves, or I call my ancestors to make this entity leave to go into a better place because it's stuck. Sometimes it happens easily, sometimes it's like dragging a person to jail. But the jail
Wow.
on the other side is a bright side.
So this entity that you're talking about actually does communicate with you?
Yes. Sometimes just through mind, sometimes through the human. Sometimes they will start talking in languages that I will not understand. So then I will have to call in my guides, my ancestors to say, what is she saying to me? Tell her
So
to
it's
talk.
gibberish
It's not-
sometimes.
sometimes it's languages I've not heard before. Sometimes it's languages that do exist on earth that I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I'm not
Makes
aware of
sense.
that language.
Yeah.
So
That
I
makes
either
sense.
have to switch on my abilities or call in my guides and be like, please tell me what she's trying to say, or tell her to talk in my language.
So how, like you often talk about your guides, and I have had that experience too, where I have spoken to my guides, but it was just one odd instance. And I know you have to be very dedicated and a very willed person to be able to communicate with your guides. How were you able to do that? Like, what was your phase during that time like, and how were you able to communicate with them and know that this? Because see, why I'm asking this question is because when I did it through somebody, like with the help of a professional. Did you also do it like that, or was this process very natural for you?
This, when I accepted this life, okay, first it was not easy for me. Also, I think I would reject them a little bit because when somebody would tell me what to do, I would find it very offensive. Like, I would like, who are you? When I started accepting this life, it easily came to me because when you start serving people, see, of course, I charge money for my work because I need to survive.
Yeah, of course.
I am an earning member. Maybe there'll come a day where I get some sort of a lottery where I don't, my deepest desire is to not charge for this work because so many people need it that I can't provide for. But when I started serving people, automatically my guides wanted to talk to me all the time. It was an automatic thing. It was just like they were gibbering all the time because now they knew this girl needs help and this girl will require
And
an
they came
army.
automatically.
They came automatically to talk to me. Like, I will close my eyes and I'll be like, especially after my father passed away, I couldn't make decisions. So I would just close my eyes and I'll be like, tell me what to do and I will do it. I became very, very surrendered that mujhse to nahi ho payega. You tell me what to do and I will do it. This one time I got stuck in an entity removal. I had the entity in my hand. Now the entity has the hands in the person's womb. So I have them by legs. And I'm stuck because I can't pull out too hard because the body might get affected of that human. Okay. And I just paused for a second. And I was like, I have no idea what to do right now. Like, it took me a second. I heard a voice telling me exactly what to do. And how it got verified after the session, after 2 days, that girl was like, she's like, when you stopped, I could hear you talking that I don't know what to do. And I wasn't saying it by mouth, I was saying it in my head. And she's like, I heard that person tell me also that just wait for 2 minutes, she's going to figure it out. And that person told you exactly what to do, and in 2 minutes, you had figured this out. So I know people can be like, this is not real. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I think if someone had told me 10 years back, I would be like, this is not real.
So, is this, do you feel pressure doing this work? How do you deal with your sanity when it comes to
I deal with my sanity. I have a very, how we have hygiene, I have a very strong spiritual
cleansing
hygiene.
process?
I have a cleansing process. I do a lot of meditation.
Yeah.
I live in Auroville, which is like a
I wanted
forest.
to talk to you
Yeah.
about that as well.
So I stay connected to water, sea. I live near sea. I talk to my plants a lot. I have a lot of plants. I live in a forest, so I can talk to my trees. Trees are my friends. They help me keep me sane because they are grounded to earth. As a healer who works in the upper chakras, I have trouble staying grounded to the earth because I work in astral dark realms more, so they keep me grounded. I have support. I have other friends who are in the same journey, and when we are stuck or when we don't know what to do, I will go take a session from somebody else. I'm not going to be like, I know everything and
true.
I don't need help. I need help. I need an army behind me of friends, of healers who are helping me, and we are all helping each other. Sometimes somebody needs
How
help, we
lovely.
show up.
Yeah.
And we show up for each other because we know that this world is
Yeah.
not. Anyways, human life is not easy.
Yeah.
Now we have chosen a path people think that life gets easy after spirituality. Or
Does it though?
No, it does not. It actually gets more difficult because you learn much
many
harder
things.
lessons than a normal person. But you change. You don't see them as, why is this happening to me? You see it like, oh, this is happening to me, so I can become this person. Like everything bad that happened to me, first I was so much in victim mode कि मेरी life ऐसी ही हुआ है. Like I would blame my mom that why did you give birth to me only when this had to happen
I
to
can
me.
relate to that.
कि
'Cause
आपने
I
मुझे
usually
पैदा
do
ही क्यों
that,
किया?
do the same.
Now I'm like, all of these things had to happen to me so I can become this person. There was no other way.
And I think that's like you asked me earlier, where do you want to be with your grief? And I think that's a lovely place to be at, where you're not blaming the world, where you're not blaming people around you for things that have happened to you, and you're not blaming your parents that why did you give birth to 2 kids? Why did you have to put me through that trauma?
Yeah.
I think that's a very good place to be at, but it takes also a lot of work and a lot of mental strength that not
it takes
everybody.
a lot of inner work.
Yeah.
And I think for 2 years, all I did was inner work. Like people thought I've gone crazy. I moved to a different place and
So I wanted to ask you about Auroville also. How did you decide to move there? And I'm asking you specifically about this place because I'm ashamed to say that being an Indian and living in India for my whole life, I really did not know such a place existed.
So one of my teachers, who's also a healer, was living in Auroville, and she came to visit me to Delhi. She's now one of my bestest friends. She's an amazing healer, and she was living in Auroville. And by this time, I had started channeling. I don't know how to say this. People from the other matrix, like you would call them aliens. So I was working with those to find out. I was living.
So one second. I want to go back to what you just said. What do you mean by that? Can you give me an example?
We are not alone in this world. Like, us humans are very entitled and we think that we are the most important beings in this entire universe. That is not true, and I think honestly that's going to be revealed very soon, where there will be evidences of the fact that we are not alone in this world, and I can give that with a stamp paper. I wanted to know. I was curious when I do a lot of astral travel work, and I wanted to know what's up. Like,
what's out there?
What's out there? What's up? What's happening? And also in this, I think we were conditioned to believe that if aliens come, there's going to be an invasion and they're going to take over.
100%.
So I wanted to know, that can't be. Like, in my head, there was a strong sense. Delhi has a very dense energy. Okay. A lot of war has happened in this land.
The history, yes.
The history is too dense. So when you open channels, then you're opening channels for everything. And that was taking a toll on my body. So then I decided I need a cleaner energy place to live, where I can open my channels, open my portals without being sick for the next 2 weeks. So I packed my bags. I told her to find me an apartment and I moved there. Most people who are living there are volunteers. I am not. So basically, if you volunteer for Auroville, if you find a way to serve them in some way, most of your things are free. There is not much money. You get an apartment, you get a job.
Oh wow! So what do you mean by serving the
community? It could be that you serve them. They have all kinds of department. They have environment. Some people are just everyday planting trees, but they've given specific lands. Some people are cooking in different places. They're very environment friendly. They're very sustainable. They have a vision for Auroville, and so they are very, very keen on building that. It is a complete forest. There, it's very, very beautiful, and people are very, very kind.
Yeah.
Because if there's no
Which
rat race,
can't say about.
there's no rat race anymore.
Yeah.
It's very slow. Everybody is slowed down. You need very minimal to survive there. And
so you formed a community of people who are
similar
to you.
Yes. And that is beautiful because you need that.
Yes.
I used to think that you heal in isolation. Only recently, I would say 1 year back, is when I realized you need witness to heal. You need a witness.
What do you mean by that?
I can go to the Himalayas and be like, I'm healed.
Yeah, I'm a sadhu and I'm just going there.
I've
sitting
healed
alone
now.
and-
Only when I come back to Delhi, I realize what parts of me need to be worked on. We need a witness in the sense people, why do humans exist for each other? Because humans are mirrors for each other. मुझे नहीं पता लगेगा कि मेरे अंदर क्या कमी है till someone is not triggering me. Now, if I used to get triggered by the same thing 2 years back, that means I have not done the work. Now you can trigger me, and something will be changed inside me. Automatically, you will get changed. Everybody is a mirror for each other. That's why I think people say, "Oh, you should only be in a relationship when you're healed." I find that utter nonsense because a partner will only show you. You can think that you are the most calm person in the world, and a partner will come in and trigger in you ways you didn't know existed. Because it's supposed to show you where you are lacking. And that is the only way
That's
to
beautiful.
know.
I didn't really think of it that way.
How will you know
Yeah.
if you are alone? Who will trouble you?
Yeah.
Like when you have kids, you get to know how much work you have to do on yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
You know that
So,
instinct.
what is a womb healer?
Okay, that is actually, I love that. I've actually had a lot of womb trauma myself in my life, so I love that. Most women you will see now have either PCOS, or they have period issues, or they have some sort of miscarriage, abortion, a lot of that happening. There are a lot of things in this. First of all, our womb holds memories. As a female, we are in charge of an entire female lineage. Everything that has ever happened in our lineage, if a woman was raped, if a woman was suppressed, that is sitting in our womb. We might know it, we might not know it. You want to accept it, you don't accept it, up to you. If you think that a human can be born there and give birth, you need to believe everything exists there. It is that powerful. It is the portal, it is the creation. There is nothing beyond the womb. Now we hold in our trauma, our ancestors' trauma. So the kind of work we do, it's different than when we go into a womb. The womb will tell us. Okay, the womb will either tell us that we will ask, is this ancestral, the problem? Is this karmic? Or is this something they have gone through? In a lot of cases that I've been getting now, people don't realize when they have a miscarriage or an abortion, a baby's soul does not know that they have to leave. It keeps waiting. It keeps waiting in the sense because it's a baby. It has no idea. I will start hearing somebody crying. And that's how I will know, without even going into the womb. I will ask the woman, did you have a miscarriage or an abortion in this life? And when they say yes, I'll be like, oh, the baby's soul is still there.
Wow.
And that's why you see after miscarriage, of course there's trauma, but the husband and wife start bickering. It's because there's a karmic soul in your body that you need to release for your relationship to get better. Or the woman says that I'm depressed now. Of course, humanly you're depressed, there's scientific reasons for that, but the karmic reason is you need to have a ritual to let that baby go. And it's not easy. Like recently I did for one woman, and when I was carrying the baby outside and I cut that cord, she screamed. She could feel everything that I was doing because her channels were so open. And she was just like, and for 2 weeks after that, she was like, it felt like I've had a surgery. I've not been able to walk properly.
Wow.
And I told her, you have to treat your body like you've had a miscarriage all over again, because the soul has just left. And her relationship is getting better with her husband that was broken. And I think we all knew this. If we read books that comes from our lineages or even other lineages, if we read shamanism, all of this already is written. We have just forgotten these simple things. There would always be rituals for women who had a miscarriage. They would not just be left to go out in the world. We have just forgotten that our body needs all of those things to, like somebody says, why should I come for pranic healing session? I was like, do you clean your body?
Now that you've said so many things, I feel like this is where I need to heal, this is where I need to heal, this is where I need to heal. Like,
but don't make yourself into a project, is also
like,
what I tell people. I said, go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Don't think of it as
But for me personally, like I never felt all this helped me initially. And this question of what's out there ate me too when my brother passed away, because I was like, it's not possible that he was just here right now with me and now I don't know where he is. Like people say that there is an afterlife and all of that, but to get answers, was a struggle for me, and to
Yes.
understand that where is he now, that question really ate me in, and
Yes.
ultimately I just had to let it go because I got no answers. And yeah, so there were a lot of times when I don't know what I was thinking, that I tried to talk to him and I was like,
But you can talk to him. There are mediums. There's also,
Yeah.
if you start meditating, and if you start meditating, you can't talk to him like he's still human. Okay, he does not have a human body. He will visit you in your dreams. Sometimes you can be stuck. Say you're stuck somewhere and you close your eyes and you truly, truly say, "Can you help me?" You will hear something that you think you are telling yourself. You didn't have an answer 5 minutes back. You were stuck and you asked somebody for help and you got an answer. That's him. You know, they will answer. People who pass away who loved us are always here to help us. There are some instances that they are stuck, which is called Pitradosh in our language. But they will
but what are the instances that happens? Like, what do you define a Pitra dosh as?
Pitradosh is when, I think my theory of it is very different than the Vedic, and I might get hate on it, which is completely okay.
Yeah.
We have ancestors. Sometimes ancestors do wrong. Say if my ancestor murdered his wife for something, there will be a Pitradosh. Nobody cleaned that. If me as a person, if I am not respectful, if I say, oh, my ancestors were like this, उन्होंने मेरी सारी ज़मीन खा ली, उन्होंने मेरे लिए कोई छोड़ा नहीं, जो आजकल मैं बहुत सुनती हूँ कि वो ज़मीन थी मेरे पास, मेरे दादा ने उसको दे दी. There will be a sort of regret. They're not mean people. No soul is mean. Sort of attachment comes in to help. Okay? Then they get stuck in between. You need to let them pass and then talk to them. Everything, if you and I have a conversation, things can be sorted. Correct? It's the same way with our ancestors. We need to have a chat. Put down. You need to serve them something. If they like whiskey, serve them a whiskey. Make their favorite food. Meditate and be like, let's talk. If you're not capable to do that, I always tell people, please hire a medium.
Yeah.
It's very important with grief because I've carried grief. I know that grief, even like a week back, it was my dad's 5th death anniversary. And I was howling. I was still howling. And I was hard on myself a little bit. And then I realized my grief will always exist.
It will, yeah.
And I came out and I said, and I was crying on my Instagram story to show that it still exists. No amount of spirituality, no amount of healing can give me back my physical father.
Yeah.
I want to hold him.
I think, and that's where I struggled also, because everybody who did kind of come in and step in, be it a medium or a hypnotherapist or whoever, was just talk. I felt like it was very superficial, because what I wanted at the time was him physically present in front of me, and I knew nobody ever could do that. So I just kept giving up on things. Like whenever somebody tried to even come and help, I wasn't really
I think
open
an
to it.
acceptance, of course, the longing will never go away. If I could just have my father just touch me. Just touch me. You know that I'm always a touchy person, especially with my father. If he was sitting next to me, I always had some physical contact with him. I want to smell him. Those things will never go away. That human grief will never go away. The fact that we think that grief will go away is a lie. A person is gone. A part of us is gone in the human life that we can never get back.
Yeah.
How can we think that grief will go away? Grief will change its shape and form and size and texture. Every emotion has that. It will become more palatable. Also, when we start connecting to them, when we truly start connecting to them, a sense of knowing that this person still exists and wants to talk to us and help us, it makes it better. I'm not going to say, wow, it makes it, now I realize that there's love there and he's in a better place. Well, I'm not in a better place. You left me right here. You're in a better place, but I'm still selfish. You left me right here. Does it feel better when I know that if I am stuck somewhere, he will help me? Yes. Would I like to pick up a physical phone and hear his actual voice in my ear, in my human ear? Yes, he's talking to me. I hear him. He does sound more mature. He's not obsessed with me anymore because now he's a soul. He does not have attachment to me. That attachment is missing. I miss that attachment. I'm not detached to my father yet. He loves me with detachment. He loves me with more patience. He loves me with more, oh, you gotta figure this out on your own. My physical father would never tell me that you gotta figure this out on your own. He would be like, oh, my child will never have to suffer, and you know. But a sense of grief really changes.
Yeah, and I think, and I think I would like to be in that space too. But I just want you to, the closing thought actually, I just want you to tell everyone who's listening how they can get in touch with you. I know it's through Instagram. And if they want a session with you, then what is the best place that they can reach you at, and how do
I'm
they
only
take it forward?
reachable on Instagram. I don't want to make a website yet because I want to have one-to-one contact with people. I don't want to have that slot system yet. I do have slots mostly open. It takes about 30 days to get an appointment with me.
Okay.
Usually that much time I need because I'm sold out. But I do want, especially for men, to come forward.
Yeah,
My
I
focus
agree.
today is that women are doing the
Yeah,
inner
they're
work.
doing the work.
And
Yeah.
if women keep doing the inner work and men don't keep doing it, there's going to be a huge clash where women are already earning.
Yeah.
We can do most things on our own now. We can have children without you.
Yeah.
I feel like men need to do the inner work. Now it's okay to show emotions. We're
Yeah.
living in that century. Men need to break their conditioning. Men need to come forward to people like me and be like, I have this trauma. I do have a lot of male clients. The world is changing, but I do want men to come forward and do the inner work because women
I
are
agree.
more accepting
I
of
agree.
it. And we deserve partners
Yes.
who have done the inner work and
Who've
come
done the
to
work.
us.
Yes.
That is
agree.
very
I agree.
important.
I think this was such a fruitful conversation and such an interesting one, and I think it's not going to sit very comfortably with a lot of people.
I'm sure I never have.
But this was a conversation I truly enjoyed. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for calling me.
Thank you.